Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you know, General Zaluzny was fired by the Ukrainian Zelensky, and Zelensky hired or appointed Colonel General Syrskyi in Zaluzny's position. Why? He's loyal to, it seems like, to Zelensky, and he's willing to doing the henchman's job, which is Ukrainians die for those guys' interest. So for me, it's clear. I wasn't sure what direction the Ukrainian military will take. Will take one of, let's protect, but, we should care for human lives and all that. Or, guys, you all have to go over there and die because right now I am in charge and I'm going to make you do that. This clarifies a little bit for me. That's why I'm sharing that with you. What Zaluzny's position was towards his Ukrainian nation. And it seems it was oppositional or opposed to Zelensky's, and in this case Syrskyi's. Let me show you. I'm going to read you the title of this article, and we're going to discuss. This is the new Voice of Ukraine, and they cite The Economist on the 9th of February 2024. Now here it is. General Syrskyi, right there, is willing to engage the enemy even if the cost in men and machines is high. Now, set aside euphemisms. Is willing to engage the enemy even if the cost of men and machines is high. So that tells me, I see it as he's willing to get as many Ukrainians to fight and doesn't really care, I think, doesn't really matter for General Syrskyi how many Ukrainians die. I'm pretty sure for this Ukrainian, that's not an issue. I'm surprised for this Ukrainian, there's not an issue either. And it seems like because he's willing to do this, tells me that the other one, which is Zaluzny, wasn't willing to engage the enemy and have his people dead at any cost. So they want this kind of attack. Ura! Ura! And it seems to me that this is a change, and that means Zaluzny did not want to kill his Ukrainians. These guys, it seems like they don't have any problem. I mean, I had no doubt that Zelensky has any problem with some nation being decimated for. You know what I mean? Oh, I have something here, right here. Okay. No. I have to work with subliminal messages here. Just give you hints. So yes, my friends, this guy has no problem. So let's see what the article has to say. The new commander-in-chief of the armed forces, Oleksandr Syrskyi, has a reputation for being willing to engage the enemy. That is being ruthless. Even if the cost in men and machines is high, the Economist wrote. He's just a guy who is just going to say, attack, I don't give a fuck. And they talk about Stalin in the Second World War. Oh, shoot them if they retreat. Okay. He's a divisive figure who provokes strong reactions from serving officers, the article said. So far, he is a monster, according to the Guardian or Telegraph or The Economist, none of the above. It's like Nikki Haley. She lost to the none of the above, none of the candidates. And I'm quoting, some praise his professionalism. Others say he terrifies his subordinates and rules by fear. He is less likely to question the priorities of the president. Well, that means he's a weasel, a loyal, and he is a ruthless guy. Now, it was a study. They want the managers to be like that, ruthless, because that's how you get the job done. But we as humans, we have some limitations. Well, they want the supervisors, the managers, the guys in charge, the generals, to get the results done regardless. It was a study maybe 2 years ago that I read saying that, or about 2 years ago, I think it was, maybe a year and a half, when they said that there was a study about AI, I think, versus the human boss. And he says that the AI or the computer, the machine, would give more results into in production than a human boss. Why? They didn't say it, but what I took of that is, of course, the AI will have no empathy, no sympathy, no do it, you're fired. No, yes, boom, no human interaction. When I came to the United States of America, I realized that the interaction between humans and especially boss subordinate is not a human interaction, it's a machine like interaction. And I also observed through experience, observation, and reading that these guys are, the more ruthless a boss is, the more appreciated would be by the boss above him. Why? Because he gets the job done. That's the whole goal. When you go in to work for someone, or you work and you start an entry-level job and so on, remember, everyone is above you, in charge of you. He's over there to fuck the share of you to get the job done. However he or she can do it, achieve that. And that's a manager. Of a manager who can make you do things that nobody else can, that's the great guy, regardless if it's sending you to die in the war. So the same here. Of course, he's a guy who could put him to do the right job. The less he cares for the humans and gets the job done with not caring, those guys will like him the most. It seems like Zaluzny was not willing to do that. This guy is, therefore you go, this guy comes. The problem is this: with this kind of people, there's more dangers that they will turn against you. So yeah, he might be now your loyal general, maybe, but that tells me he's ruthless. That means if someone is going to pay him more, he's going to fuck you up, Zelensky, just like this. Well, just an idea. And I'm quoting, as he takes on the top job, he will have to soften his style of command and learn to speak truth to power. The journalist says, no, what are you talking about? That's the exact reason why he was put over there. What are you talking about, journalist? No, that's exactly why they need him, because Ukraine military is in bad shape. So it needs a shock therapy, as Pimp Millet of Argentina. Shock therapy. But nobody does a shock on him, so he see his hair popping like that. But it's okay. That's the Argentinians' issues. But we can talk about it, and we can analyze it, and we can criticize it how the fuck much we want. That's an attribute of a free human being. Okay, so now let's move on back here. So that's exactly why this guy was put. Ukraine is losing, big problems, sacrifices. And Zaluzny, I don't think he was willing to make the sacrifices. I think this guy is, therefore they got rid of Zaluzny. I don't even know if Zaluzny, what's going to be his next. He's going to be, as I said, he's going to be recognized as the greatest general of Ukraine ever. All right, unless he starts talking shit, and then he's going to have a heart attack or a mini stroke. Zelensky gave him and Budanov the Hero of Ukraine medal. Okay, they even hugged. I saw it in an article, and we'll see what's going on. He's going to pull a Katyn on him, on Katyn forest on Zaluzny or not. Zaluzny dismissal, what is known? Well, I'm not going to read your propaganda. My point is this right here. This is willing to engage, send his people to die with any cost of men and machines. It doesn't really matter. That's what I take of this guy. And nobody can change my assessment when they say it. Now, you can say, well, the Economist. Well, is the Economist. I heard the stories about General Syrskyi being like that before it was even a talk about Zaluzny being dismissed, that he is ruthless and he treats people like shit. Well, again, a computer will not be able to say, well, is this nice or it's not nice? The computer will not discern between that. Is it empathetic or is not empathetic? They don't have that ability. They have ability if you put it in the system as that might not be right, and you call that not be right empathetic. But the computer doesn't feel that one. It's incapable. So same with the supervisor or manager. You have to be ruthless and you get things done. That's the only reason why a supervisor over there. Not to make friends, not to help you, not to babysit you. No, we're going to get the job done. And the more I have the job done under a fucked up situation, I am the best supervisor. aka whatever, ruthless. Don't believe me? Well, pay attention at work and see who are the supervisors who are most accepted and the guys who get the job done. And say, well, it's a negotiation. No, the supervisor is your boss. He doesn't negotiate. He tells you what to do. and certain things you don't want to do, he has to find a method. How? Threats. The nigga's gonna be like, oh, come on, no, threats. You're gonna get hired. I'm gonna write you up. Do this. I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna fuck you up. You're gonna leave. I'm gonna make you quit the job. That's the easiest way. I don't have to fire you. I'm gonna give you work to do that you don't like, but it's in your job description that you will quit on your own. Now that's a supervisor for you. But you have to know these things. And the more you work, the more you understand you have to do that to get the job done. There are limitations, yes, but you have to work like that. Sometimes you befriend someone and then you send him over there to fight and die in a war. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So this is Syrskyi. Now we know what the position is. I'm waiting for the Americans to and the others to start sending more weapons and all that. And when there will be no more Ukrainians, I'm guessing the Romanians and the idiot Poles and the other ones, what the name? Why do I say idiots? Because they're gonna use the Poles the same. I'm talking about the Polish leadership, not the Polish people. But you know, they are on our boat. You guys are on my boat. We are the victims. Those guys are victimizing us. Let's use these kind of terms. So yeah, they're gonna use those what's his name, Donald Tusk idiot and others to probably use you guys into fighting the Russians or in the Baltic states. Baltic states just to provoke. They have 6.1 million or 3 countries, Baltic states. That's one hour of fight. That's what they got. No, we don't. Yes, you do. And then the idiot Romanians as well. They're gonna have the Romanian president get Romania in a war, just like this, and then gonna create problems in the Caucasus with Georgia and with Armenia. There's gonna be the second front right there. Wait for it. Wait. As when there's no more Ukrainians to be sent or engage the Russians. Let's put euphemisms here. You'll see. And or whichever comes first, NATO is going to bring some peacekeeping troops in Ukraine just to make sure that they protect the civilian population. You'll see. They will institute a no-fly zone, which means they can shoot down certain things. We're going to get that point. But why? Because the Russians did not say we're going to fuck you up with the first bullet that you send to Ukraine. Now you have this. You have the first bullet. You have the juveniles. Then you got what? You got the howitzers, then you got the armored vehicles, then you got the tanks, then you have the airplanes, then you have the helicopters, you have the what? I got everything. That's a cross line, there's going to be escalation. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. This is a very, very calculated, it is controlled war between the Russians and the Americans. The Russian side with the American interest. And when I say American interest, I'm not talking about America's interest. The guys who use America's might to take over. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.